We've gone through all of these people, and we have one left.
Wow. Nobody brought anything new to the table?
Not at all. Nothing.
Wow. Well, bring in the last one.
Well, well, well.
Well, look who finally decided to show up. All right. So what do you got?
So, I'm about to save everyone's life right now. I am going to teach everyone about conversions. How's it sound?
Well, Senpai got the job.
Who's Senpai? It's Spag. Come on now.
You're probably here for conversions. Well, you came to the right spot. Me and my homeboy Spag about to show you 2 different ways to convert. But before that, I'm gonna have Assist Brit explain the conversion table for you.
Where'd they go? So I don't get assistance here? No? Alright. Well, let's get on with it. You start with a base unit, which is usually hertz. Then you have a prefix that is attached to it, and that will tell you how big or how small the number is. So with this chart, memorize it. We have giga, which is 10 to the 9th. Then we have mega, which is 10 to the 6th. And then kilo, 10 to the 3rd. We are going to skip hecto and deca because we don't really use it in physics. So now we are at the next line, which is the base unit, basically 0. And then we move on to deci, which is 10 to the -1. Then we have centi, which is 10 to the -2. And then we have milli, which is 10 to the -3. And then we have micro, and that will be 10 to the -6. And we have nano, which is 10 to the -9. So now I'll have the guys take over.
Alright, I'm Spag, and this is Assist Brit, of course, and we're going to teach you the proper way to convert. Now, after me, Grandmaster is going to give you a couple shortcuts. Now, before I go anywhere, I need to explain my thought process. First, you're going to take whatever number you're doing, convert it to base, and then you're going to divide by whatever you're trying to get it to. So let's see. We have 5 kilohertz, and we're trying to make that into megahertz. So, we take our number, we're going to multiply it by whatever prefix we have, which kilo means what, Britt?
1,000.
1,000, perfect. Giving us 5,000 hertz. Now, we're going to take that and divide by whatever the base unit of megahertz would be, which is how many hertz?
Million.
1 million hertz. So we have 5,000 hertz divided by 1 million hertz. And what's that give us, Britt?
What I always do is I knock out the same amount of zeros, just for a quick.
So 5 divided by 1,000. That's going to give us
0.005
megahertz. Perfect. Now, I got a second one coming up for you. Alright, so we've seen what it's like to go from small to large. Now let's see what happens when we flip that. So, we're going to start with 10 meters, and we're going to convert that over to millimeters. So this is already in our base unit, so we don't really have to do anything to it. But we are still going to divide. What are we going to divide it by, Britt?
0.001.
Yeah, perfect, because milli is 10 to the negative 3. So, when we do this arithmetic, what do we come out to?
It'll be 10,000.
10,000. So, our final answer is 10,000 millimeters. And now, I'm going to send you off to Grandmaster.
And everywhere I go, there's always something to remind me of another place in time. Where love had traveled far and found me.
So for my example, or my way of doing the conversions, it's a lot more simpler than what Spag did, but it gets the job done. As long as you remember the conversion tables, we'll have it locked down. If you don't have it locked down, don't try this. Don't try this at home. But try this if you do have it locked down. So the way I remember this, simple step, remember the conversion table. Two things you need to know, two very important things. SL, LS. SL, small to large. LS, large to small. Small to large, stop left. That means you're moving your decimals to the left side. Let me explain that. So, Brittany, give me a number from 1 to 100.
A million.
A million, all right. So, 1 million microhertz, and we should convert it over to...
Kilohertz.
Kilohertz? All right, we'll do kilohertz. And we're converting it over to kilohertz. And this is why it's important for you to remember your chart, because microhertz is 10 to the negative 6, while kilohertz is 10 to the 3. Important. But also, we're making a smaller number into a larger number, so that's SL. Smaller to larger.
Stop left.
Yes. Stop left. That means you're moving over your decimal spaces to the left. And because it's 10 to the negative 3 and 10 to the third, I know I'm moving over 9 spaces.
10 to the negative 6.
And always double check yourself. Always make sure you're moving correctly. You should be moving over to the left. I know this. I'm moving over 9 spaces. So,
Hold on. Forget algebra for the negative. Just do 6 plus 3. And that is all.
In this example, you gotta know when. Alright, so we're moving over 9 spaces. As simple as it is, stop left, smaller to larger number, 9 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 0, point. So that's 0.001 kilohertz. That's how you convert microhertz into kilohertz. Alright, so you just seen an example of stop left, smaller to larger. Let's go the other way around. Let's do a larger to smaller. So here, because Britt doesn't know how to go from 1 to 100, I'll pick the number. We're going to do 7 millimeters and convert it over to micrometers. Trying to make it look pretty. Alright, 7 millimeters and convert it over to micrometers. We did stop left, which is smaller to larger. Here we're going from a larger number to a smaller number. So in this example, LS. Because you know SL is stop left, all you need to know is that LS means move to your right.
To the right, to the right, to the right.
So when you move over here, well, this is also where you have to know your table. Remember the table, because micrometers is 10 to the negative 3. Millimeters is 10 to the negative 3, and micrometers is 10 to the negative 6. So you can get the difference from there, and you know how many spaces to the right you have to move. So let's go right here. From 7 millimeters, we're moving over 3 spaces.
6 minus 3.
6 minus 3, 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And that ends up being 7,000 micrometers we just converted it to. You just saw 2 examples on conversion. We just broke it down. See you later.